Hello and welcome to another quick demo. In this demo, I'm going to talk about how to symbolize some of the features in our 3D scene. So currently I've got two feature classes in. One of them is buildings that all have flat roofs, the height of 5 meters. Another is buildings that have heights based on the number of floors. And finally, I've got a couple of multi-patch features. So for all of the feature classes, I just want to give them a generic color to make them look the same. So I'm just going to double click on the color, use a 3D symbology, and I'm going to give them the brick symbology. Happy with that, and I'll do the same for the other one. Excellent. Okay, so now I've got all sort of brown brick buildings. That's looking pretty good, and that's as far as I really want to take things. In terms of the multi-patch features, we can go a bit further. So if we go to the edit toolbar, we open up all the tools. We've got one here called multi-patch texture. This is how we do multi-patch features. So the first thing we need to do is select one of our buildings. It will tell us to select the multi-patch texture. So I'm going to click on this one. Once I've clicked on that once, you'll notice when I hover my mouse over certain walls on that or faces on that multi-patch, it will change color. And that's because of the color I've got selected here. So I can change that, hover it round, highlight it like that. I'm going to pick a grey colour for the roof. I'm going to hover it over the roof and I'm going to click once on that side of the roof, once on that side of the roof. So now I've got the generic white walls with a grey roof. I'm then going to change the colour for the sides of the building. I'm going to pick a brown to represent brickwork. I'm going to click sides and make those brown. There we go. So now I've got a brown set of walls and a grey roof. I'll just clear that. So we can see that's looking pretty good. Already it's better than the flat roofs. However, there is a step further we can go. So let's try and do that now. So for this second building, I'm going to do a very similar thing. I'm going to select a multi-patch to texture. I'm going to click on that building once. However, rather than give it colors, I want to load some textures manually. Now, in order to do this, you're going to need textures already, and you're going to see what I mean in a second. So if I go to load texture, because I've got City Engine and I've got a City Engine default workspace, I have these textures already. If you don't have that, then you can just Google some images of brick, start to build yourself up a database of different textures. So for brick, I'm going to select this one, hit open. Now I've got a brick texture applied, and we'll see if I roll the mouse forward to zoom in. When I hover the mouse over that wall, it will show me what that texture is going to look like. Now, those bricks might look quite large, so if I bring my mouse over here and roll the mouse wheel, I can zoom out a bit, and now you can do that almost infinitely and make the bricks smaller. So now we've got smaller bricks. I'll hover the mouse back over, and that looks about right. So I'm going to click once. I'm going to do similar for the front, similar for the back, and finally this side. And then for the roof, again, I'm going to load textures. I'm going to navigate to somewhere where I've got some roofs. I'm going to pick a nice tiled roof. I'll change it to the tiled roof. Again, I'll zoom out a bit. Looking good. Brilliant. So there you have it. So in that demo, we've coloured all of our buildings a brownish colour, and then we've looked at multi-patch. We've done one option where we colour the walls brown and the roofs grey, and another option where we use these textures. And again, they're just JPEGs or PNGs of things like brickwork or tiles, corrugated iron, etc. At this stage, we're still missing lots of detail, things like windows, doors, chimneys, etc. So there's a lot more information that needs to go on there. However, that's a very quick way to represent some of the features within the 3D environment. What are we still missing at this stage? I think the big thing that really we're missing is vegetation. Okay, so in the next demo, I'm going to add some vegetation and show different ways to very quickly get vegetation into our scene, get it looking that much more realistic. Okay, thanks for listening and stay tuned for another video.